Alrighty. Good evening. My name's Kate. I go by Ghosty online. Um, and I wanted to make a video today. Uh, but I spent a lot of the day just sleeping. So I wasn't really sure what to make a video about. Um, but then it kind of struck me. For a long time I've been a very vivid dreamer, like since I was a kid. And so today I just kind of want to uh, talk about dreams and like I guess my relationship with dreams, and how they can affect you as a person. I guess I don't know, just going for it. So I guess I've always had sort of a love hate relationship with sleep in general. Like I said, I've been a very vivid dreamer for basically my entire life, and so um, as a kid, I would suffer from like night terrors sometimes that would wake me up. And so I think from an early age, I had developed a little bit of like sleep anxiety. Like sometimes my dreams were fine, of course, but I would be afraid of having a bad dream whenever I was going to go to sleep. And so that kind of became a theme. And I remember even now, um, a big theme in my dreams in particular. I don't know if this is for everyone, but a big theme that I've recognized is like recurring dreams, or like dreams that are like continuous. And so whenever I was a kid, I had this recurring dream that I was being chased. I think that's pretty common, right? Especially for um, kids who have a big imagination. Like I was always thinking of stories and reading stories as a kid, and so thinking of monsters and cool ideas, that kind of was like a natural consequence, I guess. Was having those dreams uh, was like a natural consequence of just all the things that were going on in my head, and I think that's kind of what dreams are. But anyways, I struggled a lot with a recurring nightmare a lot when I was growing up, um, until I realized, or I guess sort of internalized the fact that you do have a good degree of control over your dreams. And so if you're able to form like a cohesive line of thought whenever you're having a dream that you don't like, you can kind of uh, set it to go in a different direction. And it's not exactly like lucid dreaming, which is something else that I've have some experience with. But you can turn a bad dream into a fine dream if you get practiced at it. And so growing up, I had this recurring nightmare, and then I realized that I had like some degree of control over my dream. And this is going to sound funny, but when I was growing up, like a big thing for me was watching Naruto on Toonami. And so in my dreams, I was like, "Oh, Naruto will just come and fucking fight away this monster that's chasing after me, and I'll be good to go." And so that fixed it for me for a long time. Um, Still struggle with some sleep anxiety. I've always had some insomnia and stuff like that. But I would say the next like really significant like dreaming experience that I had was in middle school. Um, I started having this continuous dream where I was an older person and I lived out in a forest, and very vivid dreams where it was like I was living another life. And that really affected me in a significant way for a number of reasons. One was, at a certain point the dream stops. I'm not sure exactly what it was that stopped it for me, but I sort of grieved for the life that I had built for myself, and for like the imaginary family um, that I was working on and working with at that time. Uh, but then, in another sense, it also kind of like made it more difficult for me to sleep, because what if for years I haven't seen this family, but what if I have this one night, just the thought in the back of my head, what if I have this one night where I'm suddenly back in this reality? And now I think so much time has passed that if that were to happen, I wouldn't even necessarily know the difference. But that was definitely something that was like on my mind at the time, something that I stressed about a little bit. And that was going on for probably almost a year, probably at least 6 to 8 months. I was every night going to sleep and basically waking up in a different reality. Uh, and it was interesting. I guess more than anything, I realized that the human mind is really powerful. It can show you like some of your deepest desires, but also like some of your greatest fears. And so recently, I've been having a lot of really vivid dreams, sleeping a lot, going in and out of sleep a lot, which I think fosters dreaming whenever it comes to cycles and stuff like that. But recently, I've been having a different kind of recurring dream, and it's sort of hard to predict, even at the beginning of the dream. Uh, Basically, I'll have a normal dream. It will be different every time, and it's never a dream where I'm in any particular kind of control. I'm just along for the ride, and things will be progressing normally, and then either I'll be talking to someone or looking in a certain direction, and a cataclysmic event just suddenly triggers that ends the dream in a very sudden way. So I remember very vividly one such dream that I had was I was sitting in a lawn. Uh, it was like a picturesque sort of neighborhood, and I was sitting on the grass and looking at someone I was talking to, and they were looking sort of up at the sky behind me, and they suddenly said, "Oh, there goes the sun." And I look back, and I remember so clearly the image that I saw of the sun just imploding, just, and everything everything ended it, and I woke up shortly thereafter. Um, Another example would be I remember I was having a dream where I was sitting at like it was like a hotel, but like a hotel eating area where you would have like a continental breakfast or something like that. And I was sitting there, sitting across the table from someone, talking to them, and there was like a big window on our left side. And I was just kind of doing my own thing, and I look over, and a nuke just is exploding. And before I can even say anything, I'm only able to think like, oh, that's it. I'm not able to say anything, and it's over. It's already, consumed us. And so that's been like a recurring theme in a lot of my dreams recently is like I'll be going through the dream normally, and I guess it's like sometime around when my body realizes it's almost time to wake up. And so it like decides to end the dream in that very dramatic and explosive kind of way. And it's impactful on me, like mentally it's impactful. One, because it's kind of scary, it's kind of difficult to watch. But two, I feel like it's like realize a latent fear, not necessarily a fear that like it's not an unrealistic fear or a fear that I can do anything about, but just the fear that something like that could occur, right? Like we very much live in a world today where you could wake up one day and just be doing your own thing. I'm just typing away on my computer, and then suddenly the whole earth shakes, and that's it. Who knows what happens. So that's something that I think about a lot, and that my dreams have been making me think about a lot. Maybe we'll save talking about lucid dreaming for another time, because that's an entirely different topic. But I don't know. I have weird dreams, especially recently, because one of the medications that I've been taking has actually, one of the side effects is that it makes you have weird fucking dreams, weird dreams. So, yeah, some of them are good, some of them are bad, but I think ultimately it's just kind of interesting, kind of neat. It's like an internal reflection. It's like I've always thought this, but like your mind and your senses process so much information on a minute to minute, day to day basis that there has to be some way for your brain to internalize all of it, break it all down, analyze it, that kind of thing. And to me, dreams are just a visual representation of that process, right? Like what your brain does to decipher all of the information that you take in on a daily basis. Not that being said, my life has been pretty uninteresting recently, and I still have these wild, wild dreams. So I'm not sure where they come from or why that is, but yeah. Anyway, thanks.